Hello once again, this is Michael or GallifreyanAvenger and welcome back to GallifreyanAvenger Reviews. And today I will be covering the next installment of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Now before I go on, to those of you across the pond watching thinking, but this film has been out since July, this is really late to cover it. Yes, but the film didn't come out in July for us in Ireland or the UK, we had to wait till the 3rd of August. And yes, at the time of filming this, we're coming towards the end of August, but I was away on holidays for the first 2 weeks and, work and all that, but I'm doing it now. There will be spoilers involved, so just keep that in mind. Those of you who haven't seen the film, why are you watching this? I'm getting really salty. Why? I don't know. Parnell has had a bad influence on me. I wish he was here. So anyway, a brief recap of the first Ant-Man. Paul Rudd portrays Scott Lang, a petty crook with an aptitude for electronics. He's desperate to make ends meet to support his daughter Cassie and get shared custody of her upon his release from prison. His ex-wife and her new husband are always in Scott's case. Hank Pym, played by Michael Douglas, and his daughter Hope Van Dyne, played by Evangeline Lilly, are two scientists on the same level of intellect as Tony Stark. They choose to recruit Scott Lang for some strange reason. Oh yeah, let's recruit this guy fresh out of prison. They recruit Scott to infiltrate a rival research facility in order to stop them from replicating their revolutionary Ant-Man suit with the power of changing the size between atoms. With training montages and occasional levity from Hank and his gang of wannabe burglars, he becomes adept enough to carry out Hank and Hope's plans. It transpires that Hank, the original Ant-Man, and his wife Janet Van Dyne were sent out to deactivate a missile being launched in a city. Janet goes to the lengths of shrinking to a subatomic level to deactivate the weapon, but the only downside is that she gets brought to the quantum realm, an alternate dimension where the concepts of time and space are irrelevant. This turns Michael Douglas's character into an embittered, overprotective father, we haven't seen that before, and forbids Hope to carry out missions with the Ant-Man or the Wasp suits. At the end of the first Ant-Man, in order to save his daughter from disposable Marvel villain number 9, some bald Hydra guy as far as I remember, Scott had to go subatomic to stop the baddie. This also meant going to the quantum realm, the wonderful land full of trippy visuals on the same level as Doctor Strange. The conclusion of the film, he beats the baddie, he gets shared custody of his daughter, I think he starts up a romance with Hope, and they live happily ever after. That's about it. Oh yeah, and his Hispanic motormouth friend Louise gets word around to Falcon that he wants to join the Avengers. And that brings us to the events of Civil War. Skip forward to the events of Captain America Civil War, where Scott is recruited to join Team Captain America in the airport fight. He gets incarcerated along with the others on that team, apart from Captain Bucky, and it is implied in Avengers Infinity War that he has been put under house arrest, thus explaining his absence in that film. Anyway, we're reunited with Scott, confined to his house with the typical ankle bracelet and restriction from not exceeding a certain distance from his house. He's currently under the surveillance of his probation officers and law enforcement, and basically he can't go anywhere. Hank and Hope have been deemed accomplices of Ant-Man, so they've been on the run ever since. Still experimenting, Hank and Hope test their newly made quantum tunnel, which temporarily grants them access to the quantum realm. As this happens, for some reason Scott gets some kind of psychic message from Janet Van Dyne, seeing as he was exposed to the quantum realm, and he gets in touch with Hank and Hope behind the backs of the probation officers and law enforcement, and then Hope kidnaps Scott and brings him to Hank's secret headquarters. Tiny secret headquarters that doubles over as a carrying case. Hank and Hope are furious at Scott because of his actions during Civil War, but they believe he's a vital asset to help uncover the secrets of the quantum realm. It turns out that Scott was quantumly entangled with Janet, explaining his out-of-body episode. Determined to save Janet from the alternate dimension, Hope makes a deal with these black market dealers who apparently have the component they need to fix the quantum tunnel. Ooh, plot convenience. However, their altercation is interrupted by a new adversary, simply known as the Ghost, with the powers of invisibility and intangibility, albeit involuntarily. That is a fucking tongue twister. She steals Hank's miniature lab with the quantum tunnel research and, well, this is the main source of conflict. After a visit to one of Hank's old lab associates, fresh out of the Matrix, we learn that Morpheus has been assisting the Ghost, otherwise known as Ava, to acquire the necessary energy emitted from the quantum realm to stabilise her condition. Or my own personal favourite theory is that he's become the surrogate father of the secret love child of the albino twins from Matrix Reloaded. Too stupid? Alright, let's carry on. It turns out that Hank used to work with Ava's father in another breakthrough of molecular research. After a particular experiment blew up in their faces, quite literally, Ava's father perished in the resultant explosion, and Ava absorbed the radiation, thus granting her the fluctuating abilities of invisibility and intangibility, although it does cause her ceaseless agony. The help of a modified isolation chamber helps stabilise her condition temporarily, but she's hell-bent on using Hank's research to access the quantum realm and heal herself. So while she's not a full-blown antagonist, she still goes to great lengths to achieve her goals. That's the A-plot. The B-plot involves the black market dealers from earlier interrogating Scott's friends of his whereabouts. Scott's friends have opened up a security business, and their ringleader, the Hispanic motormouth Luis, goes off on another one of his tangents, which is one of the highlights of the film in my opinion. The climax ultimately culminates in a race against the clock where Hank needs to rescue Janet from the quantum realm, while Ava and the black market dealers are hot in their tails. Despite being broadcast on local news as Ant-Man, Scott still manages to fool the probation officer that he hasn't left his house. Janet escapes the quantum realm thanks to Hank and Hope and cures Ava of her condition. And the black market dealers, I genuinely don't remember they had that little of an impact on me. So everyone lives happily ever after. Until the end credit sequence. Hank, Hope and Janet get disintegrated as a result of Thanos in Avengers Infinity War. And I'm just there thinking, fuck, that's a major tone shift. How can you segue from, oh, it's a fairly quirky, feel-good film, to, fuck, this family has been reunited, and almost immediately after, they're gone. I mean, that really messed me up. Yeah, it was crazy. We'll see what happens in Avengers 4. And that's the film in a nutshell. Quite like the first Ant-Man, this film has a great sense of humour and takes full advantage of the usage of the Ant-Man suits to allow for really entertaining visual gags. Marvel showcased their proficiency of CGI once again, not only with the shrinking and growing effects of the Ant-Man suits, but with the de-aging effects of Michael Douglas and Michelle Pfeiffer, a callback to the opening of the first Ant-Man. Paul Rudd successfully charms his way through the film as Scott Lang once again. His chemistry with Evangeline Lilly is pretty solid and really convincing. Michael Douglas, Michael Pena, Lawrence Fishburne and the majority of the supporting cast are also very strong in their roles. john-kamen as Ava. First of all, she's very striking. I mean, I thought, holy shit, she's hot. Okay, get your maleness out of the picture. But john-kamen as Ava, she does have a strong presence as a character, but the motivations really are nothing new. But, yeah, but the one character I could not give any less of a shit about is the southern black market arms dealer. He is the biggest caricature in the entire film. Genuinely seeing the film in the cinema, every time he came back into a scene, I just thought, oh, not this idiot again. He was more cartoonish than Michael Pena's Louise, and that's saying something. Aside from that, this film is very inventive. The editing, the CGI, the story, the humour, everything, it's solid. I will say though that the editors of the Louise tangent sequences, they should be applauded. Can we please get Michael Pena as Louise to recap the events of Avengers Infinity War at the start of Avengers 4? That would be great. Nothing really groundbreaking in this film. It's your standard Marvel film. The CGI is impressive, the story's solid, and that's really all I can ask for, really. Ant-Man and the Wasp gets 3.5 stars out of 5 for me. Until next time, I've been Michael or GallifreyanAvenger. Thank you for watching and see you soon. Take care.